Hey everybody, welcome back to Prepper Junkie. Today we have my all-time favorite gun back. This is my H&K SP5 and we have an upgrade in here. We have a Timney trigger. Let's check this one out. All right, folks, as I said, if you've watched my channel at all, you'll know that this is by far my absolute favorite gun that I've owned, that I've shot, whatever. I love it. Number one gun for me, period. So I absolutely love it. One of the things I've never really liked, though, is the trigger. The stock trigger is not great. I mean, this is probably the most reliable guns out there, right? But I decided I wanted to upgrade the trigger because the triggers, it's just not great. If you've used the SP5 or the MP5, you'll know that the trigger is just not fantastic, the stock trigger. Before this one, I upgraded to a H&K competition trigger. No problems with it, ran great. But when I seen Timney had a trigger for the SP5, I was like, yeah, I've got to try this. Because, you know, they have a Timney trigger in the MPX and that trigger is phenomenal. I was like, if they can get close to that trigger, oh, yeah. This will just send this over the edge for just being amazing. So I decided to fork up a hefty amount of money. It cost me, now I got one that was just drop-in ready. So you can buy them from Timney when they don't have like the, I can't remember the parts names. I'll put the names in, I just can't think on the top of my head. But I bought one that was just drop-in ready from H&K Parts. It cost me about $550. That is the most expensive trigger pack I have ever bought. So anyway, super excited. Got it in, I've been shooting. I've probably got about 500 rounds through it currently to date. So there has been complaints for people saying that they've been having issues with the reset on the trigger. Now, initially I didn't have those problems, but as time has gone on a little bit, I am definitely seeing that. Actually, there's a clip of me in my shooting when I was getting some footage, you know, B-roll footage for you guys to see me shooting with the trigger, where, you know, I shot, I'm like, oh, it's empty. I take out the mag, I pull the charging handle back and a round flies out. The reason that happened is because my trigger did not reset and I thought the gun was empty. So I was like, okay, this is not good. So I'm not sure if I can like induce the problem here, but let's have a look. Now the trigger is a 2 pound pull, first stage, excuse me, it's a 2-stage trigger. So it's the first stage is 2 pound pull, sorry, get the words out. And the second stage is a 2 pound pull. And it's very, very accurate. I checked it on my Wheeler trigger scale and that's exactly what I was getting. The trigger feels fantastic. It's got just a little bit of take up. And as I say, that's your first stage. You're at the wall. You got a very nice break, no over travel. It's just so nice. And then you got a little bit of let out. Didn't hear the click, did you? Then you heard it. That's a resetting issue that I'm currently having. I've noticed if I let the trigger go straight, if I let it out slowly, if I'm waiting to feel that reset, that is when I'm having the problems. There's the reset right there. So if I'm just pulling, sorry, I'm pulling it and it's not reset again. There you go. So I've noticed more so, it seems to be more so when I'm letting off slowly that reset has an issue. Like it's did it again. There's the reset. If I'm pulling this, you know, like if I'm just pulling, if I'm going fast, it seems to reset pretty much, it seems to be better. But again, if I am letting out slowly, yeah, it's not resetting, which is it's just not acceptable for any trigger, and especially one that costs $550. No. So it went from being my most reliable gun to one of my least reliable guns in my collection. And so I do not recommend, you know, I'm going to reach out to Timney to give them a chance to see what they say. And I'll put a note in the description if they reply back to me. At this point of, again, maybe they've got a solution I'm just not aware of. But at this point, from what I've used, I would not recommend this trigger. I'm actually going to switch my competition trigger back in this because that has run flawlessly. I hope Timney gets this figured out because It's a nice trigger. It's a night and day difference compared to the original trigger, like that the two-stage triggers. It's super nice when it's working. I mean, like super nice. But at this point, I'm definitely not willing to run it in my gun because it's just not reliable at all. For me, I'm like, it's just not acceptable. So I don't want to harp on about it too much. So it just seems like it's got issues. It needs to be resolved. Again, I'll put a note in the comments, in the description, if Timney gets back to me and what they say. But at the moment, not thrilled with this not resetting. I like the trigger, if that makes sense. Again, it's super nice. It's just the not resetting like that is just, again, not acceptable. But anywho, all right, folks, I just wanted to give you a really quick video of that because some people were very, very interested in buying one. Hopefully we can get it resolved, but at this point, I do not recommend it. So, all right, folks, that's it from me. Until next time, okay. All right, folks, we are back with part 2. I'd like to apologize. This video should have been out months ago, but I've been super sidetracked with a bunch of other things. But anyway, so let's go over what the problem was, how it was resolved, and things like that. So I hit up Timney Trigger and I hit up H&K Parts, where I actually bought the trigger from. I gotta say, they were both excellent. They both responded very quickly to me. Both were like, send it back, we'll take care of you. Sorry about that, and so on. So they were, I gotta give props to both companies. I do love it when I get great customer service, and it's important that I point that out when you do get that good customer service. So thank you to both companies. Now, I did actually choose to send it back to H&K Parts because they're actually not far up the road from me, and I thought it'd probably be the quicker way, and that's where I actually bought it directly from. So I thought I'd let them take care of it. Now, they did say what happened was the first kind of batch of triggers that have gone out from Timney had too much Loctite on somewhere on it. There's too much Loctite, which was causing these resetting issues. So they were like, yeah, send it back, we'll take care of it. You know, we'll take care of you. So job's a good one. Sent it to them, had it back within the week. As I say, they're not far from me. So they had it back to me very quickly, which I appreciate. Now, I don't have any new footage of me actually shooting this, but I have been shooting it. I've shot it a ton. I've had the problem has been resolved. So what the problem was, as you know, if you watched part 1, is when I fired, and that trigger's so nice, on the let out, if I let it go really slowly, it wasn't resetting. Now you did hear it reset. So they did take care of that problem. So now again, it's been a few months since these have been out, so I'm hoping that all the new packs have had that problem resolved. Mine certainly has. Again, comparing this to the stock trigger, it's a night and day difference. It's a very expensive upgraded trigger though. I'm not gonna lie, that was a sore one to buy this trigger. But the actual difference in the trigger, it is night and day. So I am a big fan of the trigger. Now it's working 100%. I've had no problems since this came back. At this point, great customer service. They fixed the problem. Happy to recommend the trigger. And that's it. All right, folks, buy with confidence, as I say. And if you do have any problems, they will take care of you. But as for the actual upgrade, it's very, very nice indeed over that stock trigger. So that's it. All right, folks. Sorry that took so long to get this review out to you, but there we have it. Questions, comments, ask them below. Always happy to help you out. And that's it. Until next time, folks, I'll catch you later.